Don't you hate it when that happens to you? When it does, you need this and this and this. When it happens to me, I always know where to go. When you've got professionals on your side, your problems don't stand a chance. What are you waiting for? Contact them today and let them take care of your problems.
The one thing which is very important for UAE expats in UAE, that is the art and the ability to sell yourself. This is global, okay? People losing their jobs. It's global. And now companies are moving towards a lean management, a lean structure. They are operating on a bootstrap kind of budget. So they make sure that whomsoever they take is either the best or adds the maximum value. Now, the problem is the majority of you based in UAE, you have had this comfortable job, or you have had this job where you didn't have to worry. There was there was absolute security. You never thought you'd lose your job. There was this pride that I'm working for this company, I'm in this position, and you lived with the mirage or the illusion that you're going to be here until you retire, and you had planned your life until retirement, and nobody would make you lose your job. Nothing would happen. Your entire identity, your belief, your confidence, everything revolved around this job. And now that you have lost your job, it's like a shock to you. You don't know what to do. You're absolutely shocked. And then you realize, okay, I'm very good at my job. And you're wondering why nobody is giving you one. The reason why nobody is giving you one is because you do not know how to sell yourself. See, it all comes down to selling yourself. Totally. How do you think I survived all these years in UAE? How did I survive? I didn't survive based on my credentials. I didn't have any. I was not a degree holder. Forget that. I didn't have school papers to show them, man. And then on top of that, I didn't have any proper experience. It was always fragmented. So how did I get a job? I didn't even have a CV, man. I got a job because I knew how to sell myself. I knew how to talk. If I'd meet anybody, I'll tell you, I meet anybody, I would, within that time frame, I would either get a contract. Yes, my daughter. Yes. My daughter keeps saying Papa. So, by the time the meeting would take place in less than 30 seconds to 1 minute, the guy has already confirmed a meeting with me, or we're already talking business. And many of you feel that you have this incredible skill. Loy, just give me the interview. Finished, I'll nail it. Well, guess what? You're asking for the interview to be given on your platter. I would make an interview. I would get an interview, even though there was none. And nobody gave me an interview. Because I had to survive on the streets, man. It was like living by the code of the streets, So meet anyone immediately, just the way I would talk, the content of what I would speak. They would like, okay, let's meet up in my office. This is my card. Okay. It's not like every meeting would be a success, but I was very aggressive. I knew how to sell, what to say, how to say. So that was one skill. Then later on, I learned the art of how to present myself through a profile. And how did that happen is because I had to sell my services online. So obviously I had to create a profile of myself online. And when people would read it, they would be like blown away. Like, oh, wow. Okay. So I knew how to sell myself online. And that is how I learned the art of presenting myself in a visual manner. But then came content. And that is where I decided I would practice the art of writing. And I wrote. I never stopped. I would keep writing and writing and writing. Imagine, for a guy who I never knew how to draft a 2-line letter. You might think I'm exaggerating. These formal letters that people used to write. dear in subject, and then dear sir, I hereby present my resume for your kind perusal. Even that I didn't know how to write a letter. Today, forget a letter. I can write a 10,000 worded article because 20 years of constantly trying to write and improve your skills. How do you think I'm so good at writing a CV, a resume? Because non-stop practice of wanting to sell myself and improve on myself, and there was no book, there was no google.com. It is practical, real life experience, common sense. That is why any client who speaks to me, when they book a session, they tell me, Loy, I always take feedback. They're always like, none of the bits of advice you gave is what other people said. You spoke totally different, completely different stuff, And because I give them common sense, I speak on the realities of things, like from racism to life not being fair to don't put chirpy stuff, don't show that you're invincible. So if you do not know how to sell yourself, how the fuck will you get a job? And in the Middle East, UAE market, everybody is trying to overhype, oversell themselves, exaggerate bullshit. So you're in a market where if you say, I have 5 years experience, next guy will say 7 years, third guy will say 10 years, next guy after that will say 15 years. So are you going to base your selling point on years of experience? One guy will say, okay, I sold 5 million. Next guy will say, I sold 7 million. Third guy, 10 million. So are you going to base it on numbers? Or then what are you going to do? You're going to praise yourself. I'm hardworking, dynamic, focused. So then one other guy will add a few more adjectives. So he's better. And then what you'll do? You'll say, I know budgeting, I know forecasting, I know team management, I know marketing. Then another guy will put all the other jargons taken from Tom Peters. Then some people feel if they put amazing, sophisticated words, which they saw from some Google website, you put that. You think people are fucking dumb? The employers are never seen a CV? Man, me, even though I do not have a company, I told you, 1,600 fucking emails. Now it has gone up to sometimes even 4,000. The number of CVs that I get every single fucking day, I get a CV. I get a CV. I've seen every possible, like, for example, one idiot, his achievement that he put, his credentials, skills. He's an Indian name. He said, I'm a British passport holder. That is his achievement. What the fuck? I met, and people getting very high salaries, 40, 50. So the point that I'm trying to drive home is, if you do not know how to sell yourself, you might have years of experience. You might be the best at your fucking job. You might be an industry leader. You do not know how to fucking sell yourself. Nobody is going to give you an opportunity. Because right there, right now, out there is a person with lesser skills than you, lesser competency, who is not as good as, who can't do half the job you can do. But they are masters at selling. They're incredible at selling. And trust me, the company will give them an opportunity and not you. So if you have to survive in today's world, you have to know to sell yourself. You have to make such a fucking impression. Like they say, no, the elevator pitch. You're stuck with the CEO of a company in the elevator. In 30 seconds, what would you say to convince him to want to meet you? That skill has taken a lifetime. Like if you see Jordan Belfort's that movie, Leonardo DiCaprio, sell me this pen, he asks. How would you sell this pen? Yeah. So it's about knowing how to sell. I've always told you the best way to get a job is contacts and connections. It's called Vasta. The second best is knowing how to sell, talk, and communicate. And remember, talking is not communicating, and that is different from selling. Talking is one thing. You can talk for hours and hours, and people, they will get nothing. You can communicate like John F. Kennedy, or Obama, or Ronald Reagan. Still, that's a different way of persuading people. And then there is that hardcore selling That comes with experience. You cannot read it in any book. I've had to sharpen this skill day in and day out. Like even this, my work online. And it has taken every fucking day. I'm asking myself, okay, why did I get this client? Why didn't I close this client? What could I have said here? What are the options I could provide there? Nobody agrees otherwise. And last but not the least, if none of these you have, the only other option is your resume. And if you do not know how to craft and create a resume, you tell me. You don't have contacts. You don't know how to sell yourself. You don't even know how to make a fucking decent resume. How the fuck would anyone give you a job? Tell me. How the fuck would anyone give you a job? They don't know you. And then people ask me, Loy, can you introduce me to your contacts? Can you introduce what? You think my contacts are sitting there and saying, every stranger, Loy, you meet thousands of strangers online, introduce all the strangers to me? Or am I sitting here for charity? To burn the relationships, friendships, and that have formed over the years. Unknown people, just please look at him, meet him, employ him. And you guys need to grow the fuck up, man. Anyway, I keep saying, people, yes, through my channel, through my work, I sell my services. Why the fuck should I feel ashamed? That's how I make fucking money. So, if you have to get a job, learn to fucking sell yourself. You don't know how to sell yourself, you're in deep fucking shit, man. Then don't cry, oh, no job, oh, I don't know what the fuck to do. Yeah, don't know what the fuck to do, learn to sell yourself. And if you can't master the art, then go take professional help. Google.com, with all that vast information and misinformation, is not going to make you a master salesman. So anyway, hope this gave you some common sense. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember, these are tough times and only the best will survive. The rest, you guys are going to get fucked. So this is your reality. It's everyone's reality, including mine. All right? Sure, guys. You guys take care.
Are you fed up of life? Earning a pathetic salary, working long hours, having an ungrateful boss, facing office politics, the constant fear of losing your job, and after paying rent, groceries, shopping, and children's expenses, you were left with hardly any savings. Is this the life you dreamed of? Or do you wish to change your life forever? Meet Loy Machedo, the world's #1 personal branding coach. He will help you identify the real you, position and sell yourself by getting the job of your dreams, and make good money anywhere in the world. If you do not believe me, Google his name, Loy Machedo, and you will find 2 million web links online and over 200 recommendations from very happy clients. So the question is, do you want to change your life? If yes, then contact Loy Machedo. www.loymachedo.com. Who is loymachedo.com? Thinkpersonalbranding.com. What are you waiting for? Do it now.